Thanks very much. I'm here today to run through the Nexus Minerals story and hopefully update everybody on where we're at. And we obviously made some significant advancements over where we were last year, all of them positive. So as a corporate overview there, and I think a takeaway of the company at the moment is it's in a sort of very healthy state. Just under 300 million shares out there. Mid-30s as a share price, so market cap around that $100 million, so you're big enough you can really got room to move, but you're not too small that it's difficult to get investment and get the community interested in the size of project you're looking for. The market cap, around that 100 million, 17 million cash. And we talk a few times about active exploration and what you're doing with your money. At the moment, if we aren't the most active explorer here, the conference we're very close to it, with a current spend of well north of $3.5 million a month and 5 drill rigs going full bore at our West Australian project, which I'll talk to in a second. A share price, I was talking to a few investors here this morning that spoke to me last year and about that April, May, June timeline. Bought into Nexus shares, and they're currently having a sort of a triple bagger, and I said to them, well, hopefully I'll see you next year and we can make it a tenfold, so we'll see how we go. Wealth of experience in board and management there, a lot of years experience all in from exploration right the way through to corporate guidance, management and equity market experience. So a good team there to be involved in the Nexus Minerals project and the story. Two main project areas talking to today. In Western Australia, we unashamedly say we're chasing these large-scale gold deposits. We've targeted and found ground that is under or completely unexplored, and using all the exploration methodology with gained in a lot of years' experience to try and bring these things forward. And to date, we're having some really good exploration success. And we've brought the Bethanga porphyry copper gold project on the books in the last 12 months as well. I've spent a lot of years in the Asia Pacific chasing porphyry coppers, and this is certainly a project worthy of again very early stages, but it's a good project, and we're just starting to get our teeth into that at the moment. So I'll start with our Eastern Goldfields project. It's called WALLBROOK, and we're roughly 140 kilometres northeast of Kalgoorlie. We're parked in between Northern Star's Carosue Dam operation at Karari and their porphyry mining centre itself. So they're open pit mining at porphyry at the moment. They're about to go underground there, and the haul road, they truck it right the way down through the middle of Nexus tenure down to their mill 35 k's to the south. We've got an excellent relationship with Northern Star, and we utilise their haul roads and other facilities in the district as well. And it's a large tenement holding. We sort of brought together 3 or 4 packages from multiple other explorers that had the tenure prior to us, and we've brought together certainly some good tenements, and the results are starting to come. So something that we're finding is more and more important these days as well is the central component there, which is what I'll be concentrating and talking about today. It's roughly 8 kilometres there between the WALLBROOK mine and the porphyry mine, and they're on granted MLs. So today you have to apply for an exploration tenement. Can take you anything up to 2 to 3 years to get that. Go out drilling, find something, convert it to a mining tenement. You have a really long lead time. So the fact that these are granted M's means that any sort of resource that is discovered can be mined within 3 to 6 months. You're simply putting in your application to the mines department, but you're really just guiding them that this is how you're going to do it with a set of guidelines. As long as you just follow those, you can be up and mining. So the value of a granted M these days over other tenure is particularly significant, and that's where we're concentrating our exploration. The geology, structural setting is what we're looking for. For potential for hosting gold mineralisation, unexplored to underexplored, very much significantly the case, and the right rocks. So these are really important. We're after these proximal and internal porphyry intrusions inside the host rocks, and that's what we're finding up and through the region there from Crusader to Branches, where we've been exploring at the moment. So whilst there's a lot of numbers there, and I get that, I mean, what's important is that the 5 of the drill rigs that we've got at the moment, 3 RC and 2 Diamond, continue to work through this 1.6 kilometre strike, and recent drilling has just combined the two and sort of linked essentially the whole lot together. And the continuity is something that's certainly stunning about the project to date, both in a plan and a cross-sectional view. The continuity is something that's particularly important, and you need that in the early days as you're trying to build up a resource and build something of size. You need to have that strike extent on your side, and that's certainly the case at the moment. We're seeing the mineralisation hosted in these quartz porphyry intrusives, so essentially it's these red rocks, and we've also done some preliminary metallurgical test work, and it's all come back pretty positive to date with 98% oxide and just under 98 fresh, so very, very high. It's working well. Fantastic numbers there, won't bore you with them, but 29 at 4, 10 at 4, that's all great in isolation, but it's the fact that as you pull together the whole thing rather than a few in isolation that it becomes important. What we've done here is I've taken, instead of just picking one cross-section, which is obviously gives you a line in space, this takes 800 metres of drill results and concertinas them all onto the one section. And you need this, you can't control this or plan this. This is very much up to the geological gods whether this works for you or not, and we're certainly very fortunate that it does. So what you need to see is you need to have broader, always, you'd like it higher grade, but you tend to have lower grade, broad mineralisation in your shallower parts of your deposit. So we've got our supergene there where you've got 5 at 4 within 43 at 1.2, 7 at 3 within 20 at 1.27. So that's fantastic, and you need that in that sort of top 70, 80 metres where you've got your oxide and material there. Then you need a transition through around that 100 metre mark where we transition from oxide into fresh material, and that's in that zone there. And then you'd like to see the grade improving. It tends to obviously narrow up, and that's also what we see here. Remembering this is every drill hole across the whole 600 metres, this picture evolves. Then when you go into potentially your deeper, your underground grades and numbers, you need it certainly to be the higher grade and shallower again. 4 at 16 within 3 at 7, 7 at 4 within 12 at 2. So that, if you're looking at teaching a geology student at university, what would you like your exploration project to be developing into? That's the kind of picture you'd like to see, and it's certainly classic Eastern Goldfields. So very happy to date. The long section then, really all we're trying to show there is as we build up more and more drilling, the picture remains the same. The grade is good. It's over the full 1.6 kilometres. We're starting to link this Crusader and Templar zone together, and it's very sparse in the drilling. So you can imagine with 5 drill rigs pumping here, it's still taking us time to build up this story. And as you start to see there, as we start to build more and more drilling information, we start to get a good picture of some plunges and some other parts to the internal geometry of the deposit. So the drilling will continue, and that's certainly where we're going to be at for the next 6 months. Regionally there, we spoke about Crusader Templar, and what we're finding is that we've got this gravity low corridor, and then we want a mag low within a mag high. And it's almost like a recipe. This is what we're doing. Where we see these? What can we do to keep looking for them? The exploration underway then is to complete the whole area in a gravity survey and start to build a picture around these regional projects and then start to drill them. To date we've drilled Solomon, which we've just highlighted there in red, just under 4,000 metres. Results are pending on that one. And we've just done some follow-up work to Branches, which we drilled a couple of years ago, and we certainly saw some good numbers up there. And now we know what we know in regards to the geophysics and work our way back to our drill numbers. It's all starting to make some sense, and this is what we're trying to do, is build up this picture, get it to make some sense, and then literally have the ingredients for how we keep exploring. And what we're certainly seeing there is the development of a genuine mine camp. Once we can start getting some numbers in some of these regional projects, then it'll really start to sort of build the prospectivity of it as a genuine gold camp district. So the WALLBROOK region itself and the project, 50 kilometres of strike there. We're obviously building up all the story over the historical data. We're finding the geophysics systems at work, following it up with the drilling, and the results are starting to come. So it's certainly Nexus Minerals corridor of riches, and these are the right rocks. Staying on the concept of the right rocks, the Bathanga Porphyry Copper in Victoria is a project which we've brought on in the last 12 months, and at the moment it's very early stage. You need to be in the same rocks and the same geological host rocks as the Australia's premier terrain. You need to be there with Cadia Ridgeway, North Parks, all the major porphyry copper in Australia are in that belt, and you need to be in those right rocks, and that's where the Bethanga project is. We're out there at the moment soil sampling. We continued working through there right through COVID and completed some regional work. Looked interesting, and the porphyry fertility assessment continues. Nexus had it as an option for 9 months. We've now taken it on board into the company and we own it 100%. And we're on the ground now doing detailed soils, detailed ground mag will follow, and then ultimately we'll pull the whole lot together in the next few months. A fairly hectic exploration program, but as I said before, with exploration spend of $3.5 million a month, we're expecting to see that 20,000 metres of RC and the same number at Templar. We'll bring that Crusader Templar together. 2 diamond rigs pumping 24/7 out there as well. We'll start bring that together. We've got the Solomon and Branches regional prospects, which we'll see results for in the next few weeks, and the porphyry fertility assessment is continuing at Bethanga. So why Nexus? As a summary, in Western Australia, highly prospective strategic land holding, significant discovery made at Crusader Templar in 2021. Our major drill program is underway with successful drill results coming on a regular basis, and obviously a lot of news flow in this next coming 6 months. When I say active gold explorer, we've explained it, and that's certainly we mean it. A new project, Bethanga Porphyry Copper, is coming on and starting to look very interesting, and the fertility assessment is well underway. So quality projects, the right rocks, a professional and experienced management team, and we're well funded to undertake our exploration activities. Thank you very much.